think I've not got that many of Bob, to be honest. I think he was a bit shy.
Yeah, that was kind of a thing back then. I was even shy to have my photograph taken back then.
Well, I mean, we didn't care.
Like, it amazes me that you actually got a camera out and you took these photographs,
Well,
you know what I mean?
To be honest, if it wasn't for Daryl, we wouldn't have, because I didn't take a camera.
Yeah. So
I was more bothered about
getting the job done.
Getting the job done, yeah.
Yeah.
And pouncing around taking photos. So Daryl had his camera there because we were photographing Brenda, his wife. So that took about 3/4 of an hour. By the time she's finished bloody drinking all over it. And then
I tell you what, I'd be something if those pictures are right, a service from somewhere.
Well,
like
Daryl's got them, or Brenda had them, or something. Because I never thought to ask for them.
Mm.
And it was Daryl that had these, that's why I haven't got the negatives.
Ah, right.
So Daryl gave me this set. Excuse me.
So obviously he went into Countach and had
as a second set.
A set that copied. Oh, that's nice even to have them, isn't it? You know what I mean?
So,
because if you think about it, like you say, if it weren't for Daryl, most of the story would have been a story, and anybody could have made it up. You know what I mean? But you got the photographic evidence there, and it makes the story better. You know,
if it wasn't for Daryl, we wouldn't have done it.
Yeah.
Because A, we would have never been able to pay for it, because it was $2,000.
Yeah, so
and $2,000 in 1985.
That was like 10 grand.
You know what I mean? It was a lot of money.
Yeah.
We had cash, but we didn't have the bank facilities, if you like.
Yeah. Because, well, even back then, the bank facilities were crap back then, weren't they?
Yeah, yeah.
You know
I mean, you know, if you had £300 or £400 in your bank them days, you were quite well off.
That's right, oh, yeah.
I mean, as I say, we did have the money, the cash, but we needed it on a card.
Mm.
And Daryl had the card.
Yeah, totally.
So, and then after that, we took a few people out in it, just round the block, if you like, or whatever.
Yeah.
Scared a few people to death.
Because didn't you say you used to live in a certain street with a certain person also lived?
Yes. I had a blue car that came to my house, and Ryan saw that. And he also saw the kits that we were building. Because
let's take it back here now, right? Ryan might not sound familiar to you or most people, but say exactly who used to live on your street.
Ryan Giggs.
Yeah, Ryan Giggs lived on the same street as Gary. It is, how small of a world is that?
And it's been in one of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
I
mad,
just took him down the bottom of Hillside, turned around and come back.
How old do you reckon he was back then? Do you reckon he was in Man United Youth Club then?
Yeah, I would probably. How old would you say he would be?
High school. He would have been in the juniors, I would imagine, the youth team.
Yeah.
He'd probably be about 11, would you say?
Mm.
Well, we can look up, we can find out when he was born.
Mm.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
This was in 85, 86.
That's crazy, that.
He was just a little kid that used to play Wally.
He was really annoying with his football against everybody's walls. But what he turned out to be.
I would have thought that he would remember that.
He knows me, but he doesn't know why he knows me.
Ah, right.
I've done a few weddings that he's been, when I was DJing.
Oh, yeah.
I've done a few weddings where he was attending.
So he's seen you a couple of times and he's like, I know you from somewhere.
He knows me.
Mm.
He doesn't know me as if, you know, like, hey, Gary, how you doing? He knows me.
Yeah. That's pretty cool.
Well,
Well, he was born in 73.
73, 74.
He'd be about 12.
We're about 11 and 12.
Right, it's pretty good. Yeah.
About 11 and 12.
I mean, if you're 11-year-old kid back then, you've seen one of them cars, that stays with you.
Well, that was it.
That stays with you, doesn't it?
Because when I used to test, Daryl and I were building one.
Yeah.
This was after Mirage. Daryl and I was building one because the first one Daryl tried to do was on a Lotus Esprit floor pan.
Right.
And it didn't work out quite right.
It's quite small, Esprit, isn't it?
An Esprit. So at the end of the time, when I'd left Mirage, we got one and we built it in my garage at Beverley Road. And that's when Ryan saw it. So it might have been a bit later. It might have been 86.
Yeah. I wouldn't be surprised if he's got a blue one. He's got the money to buy one, hasn't he?
Well, it's a long story. I was walking through Manchester one day and at the traffic lights at the bottom of Market Street was a blue Lambo.
Yeah.
Blue 5000S. And it was stuck. It couldn't move. So I went over to the guy, and I shouldn't have done it, but I did. I said, we work on these. Oh, do you? Do you want to do my clutch? And I thought, oh, fuck it.
All the things to ask her to on the car, isn't it?
What have you let yourself in for, Gary? And my brother-in-law at the time, he was a mechanic as well.
Yeah.
And he said, yeah, go on, we'll do it. We'll charge him £5,000, which again was a lot of money at the time. So I persuaded this guy to get this blue Countach to my house.
Yeah.
So he got it. He got it towed to my house or trailered or whatever. But you could only start it up. You couldn't move it because there was no clutch.
Yeah.
So while it was at the side of my house, Daryl and I were working on the other one in the garage.
Yeah.
And we decided one of the things that we didn't do was take a moulding of the wheels. So we whipped the front and rear tyre off and we actually glassed a mould of the wheels. And that was why in the early 80s you were able to buy steel wheels and put
hubs on, really, isn't it?
Yeah. It was better than nothing.
Oh, yeah.
Trying to get hold of them brute OZ wheels was a nightmare. So we did that while it was at our house. And in the end, I just rang him and said, no, I said, we can't do it. It's a horrendous job.
Well, the whole engine got to come.
Yeah, horrendous job with the engine and gearbox out. So we ended up not doing it. He ended up taking it away and I think he took it to Portman Lamborghini.
Yeah.
So
at least you got something out of it.
Well, we got the wheel mouldings.
So they, the very earlier cars would have had them on them.
You can still buy them from Prova.
That's right.
Prova's still selling them.
Yeah. Well, at least we know where they come from.
Well, that's where they come from.
There we are. A story within a story. I mean, it's mind-blowing.
I think there's people out there that they want to take credit for what we did.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
And I hate that. And I hate it when people talk about it as though they're knowing what went on, but they don't.
Mm.
You know, everybody seems to think that it was Peter and me that took the moulds. It's not. It was Daryl and I.
Yeah.
Peter was nowhere to be seen.
Well, the story's straight now.
Well, that's what pisses me off.
Yeah.
Because he's getting credit for stuff he didn't do.
No.
Give him credit for what he did do, certainly.
Yeah.
Door hinges, grills, rear light surrounds.
And then it weren't him, it was his dad's company that done it.
Well, his dad had died.
Ah, right.
And the company had been left in trust to him and his sister.
Right.
So he didn't even work there. He just went and said, right, make me them.
Yeah.
And because it was in trust to him and his sister, they did what he said.
Yeah, because he seemed like the boss, like, you know what I mean?
He's the boss.
Yeah.
Him and his sister were the boss. So, yeah.
Cool story, man. I love it. I tell you what, I was born in the wrong era, definitely. Because I tell you what, if I was on Gary Street back then, look what we could have accomplished, huh?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
I would love to have been there.
It was exciting.
Oh, definitely.
But we didn't care. If it had got really bad, we'd have burnt it. Honestly, we'd have took it on a cross somewhere and, excuse me, and burnt it.
Yeah.
No danger. We'd do that easily. So we had nothing to lose, really.
No.
If we were going to do it, we either did it right or we totally knackered it up. And we had eventualities for both scenarios.
Well, of course, they had insurance anyway.
That was it. So anyway, we hired it, and I think I got up to just after the posing bit in the park.
Yeah.
We ended up back at the workshop after running a few people, different places, you know, just give them a little run round in it. And I think we got back to the workshop probably 1 o'clock, there or thereabouts. And Daryl had brought 2 of his workers. I had brought one of my mates who was an electrician. There was another guy who had the unit next door to me in Century Mill.
Yeah.
He said he'd give us help or like to be involved. And me and Daryl. So we just set to it. Got everything stripped off. Got everything.
And obviously Daryl brought all the stuff from his factory, like, didn't he?
Yeah, well, Daryl had all the gear already, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
We didn't have to order anything, he just brought it. And
like, I never touched fiberglass until I bought this car, and I've now kind of understood how the fiberglass actually works, and it's not that complicated, actually.
it's not that complicated, it's just messy.
Yeah.
Just messy.
Yeah, it is messy.
You can't, it's messy. I don't like it. I mean, I had my pond fiberglassed at the back.
Oh, yeah.
I could have done it myself. Just didn't want to. Cost me a fortune, but I didn't want to do it because you only get one go at it.
Yeah.
And if you don't put the correct amount of catalyst in it, or this, that, or the other.
The thing I like about it is it goes off within 20 minutes.
Yeah.
That's brilliant, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's awesome. I can, for me as someone who likes to create things, it's a marvellous thing. Yeah. I wish I'd come across it earlier. Like,
yeah, well, I mean, it's a work of art to be able to do it. And we worked from 1 o'clock that afternoon, Saturday afternoon, till about maybe 3 o'clock on a Sunday.
Yeah.
When we managed to get it back together.
Is that before or after the run to the shop?
Well, the paint had come off in a couple of places. Only...
No, the paint come off.
Yeah, the paint came off. Let me try and explain where it was. We had a couple of little blobs of paint. Let me find it. It's not there. Across the roof line. And then it turns into the roof and then comes out.
Yeah.
When they sprayed the car, when they sprayed the roof, they got a bit of a run.
Oh, really?
In that square.
Yeah.
So as we lifted the mould off, it pulled the paint off. So there was one there and there was one on the sill. So I jumped into the car, nipped to Farnworth, to a motor accessory shop. I took one of the covers that covered the wing supports, and I just got the nearest red touch-up. Fortunately, if this is the square like that,
yeah,
it had run over and down.
All right.
It wasn't right at the top, it was down a bit. So fortunately, the mark, when the engine cover got fitted back on, you couldn't see it.
Oh, yeah.
Because obviously we painted it red.
Yeah, yeah. Was it far out red?
It was red.
It was like red, sticking out red.
It was red.
It was bad, wasn't it?
So yeah, I went to the motor accessory shop, got some touch-up, came back, touched it up, put it all back together, and they say we probably got it finished for about 3:30, 4 o'clock.
Yeah.
Well, because we'd worked all night. We worked all night on it non-stop.
But the doors I had to put back.
Say that again.
The doors I had to put back on.
No, they were quite easy actually.
Yeah.
Because the Lamborghini don't put any adjustment on the doors. They went where they went.
Oh, that's good.
I don't know how they managed that, but they did. It was quite stressful just making sure everything went back together as it should.
Yeah.
But
obviously, because you didn't want these guys to then come and pick the car up, go through it like a fine tooth comb.
well,
And
we took it back to them in Manchester, at
Right.
this hotel. And all he did, this guy, he came out and he walked round it and he went, yeah, that's okay. So
and then the sigh of relief went all over you, I suppose.
until we got the letter from Lamborghini.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
But that's, as I say, that's another story. I don't know where we want to go from here. I mean, do you want to hear about what happened on the night we finished it? Or do you want to hear about what happened to the mouldings when we finished them?
Yeah, yeah, let's go from the mouldings.
Well, you'll miss out the night then.
Oh, come on, let's do the night. Whatever you want, Gath. Whatever you
Okay,
want.
so 3:30, Daryl and I thought, right, we'll go home and get changed. 20 minutes, something like that.
Ah.
And we'll go out and have a nice meal in it. Where are we going? Well, we're going to Blackpool. So...
And how far is Blackpool from where this car is now?
45 mile,
Oh, I don't know how far.
50 miles, something like that.
20 minutes drive in.
So we go home, we get changed. I can't remember whether Daryl picked me up or... Oh, sorry, Daryl picked me up.
Yeah.
He dropped me off and he picked me up after he got changed. So we set off for Blackpool and we were giving it a little bit of stick. As you can imagine.
As you do, isn't it?
You know, maybe 130, 140, 150, something like that. Anyway, whatever. On the M55 to Blackpool. And then as you come off the 55, it just goes into a single carriageway.
Yeah.
Sorry, not a dual carriageway, a 2-lane.
Oh, 2-lane.
Comes into 2 lanes.
Dual carriageway, yeah.
So off the motorway we come, and we pull up at this set of traffic lights. And coming the other way is this white Ford Escort police car.
No, never.
This is the most unbelievable part about it. So we didn't wheel spin. Daryl didn't wheel spin or anything like that. We just set off quickish.
Yeah.
Not thinking anything of it. Going down the road.
Antonio, is it?
I don't know. Antonio, USA, added you. So we set off down this single carriageway, one on each side, I don't know, whatever you call them. And we'd been going for about 5 minutes.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden we see 2 police cars, one in our lane, coming towards us, and one in the outside lane, coming towards us to box us in.
Oh,
So Daryl stopped. As Daryl stops, this This white Escort pulls up behind us. He'd been chasing us flat out.
Oh, never.
In this like 1.3 Escort, or whatever it was. And he pulls out, and as he stops, there's a load of big cloud of steam comes out of this bleeding Escort. I said, Darryl, I said, you're in the shit, mate. He says, I know. I said, you're really in the shit. I said, but you've not done anything I wouldn't have done.
Yeah.
So anyway, once we'd stopped, the two officers in the car in front of us, here,
Yeah.
get out. The copper behind, on the side of us, fucked off down the road. The copper that pulls up behind us to try and box us in.
License and registration, please.
So Darryl says, I can't say anything, can I? I said, look what I'm in.
Yeah.
So anyway, he gets out, he says, come with me. So Darryl gets out of the car and walks and sits in the car at the back.
Yeah.
So by this time, the policemen have pulled up in front of us. They're saying, what is it? Where? Who is it? Is it yours? Is it a real one? Is it this? Is it that? Is it? And they've got their hats under their arms. Anyway, I said, yeah. I said, we've hired it for a couple of days. I says, we've been doing some photographs with it. I said, and we just decided we was going to give a bit of a run out to to Blackpool. Right. Fucking lovely car. I said, yeah. I said, it's beautiful, isn't it? Well, by this time, I got out, walked round the car to the driver's side,
Yeah.
and pulled the bonnet and thingy releases. Oh, fucking had someone in there having a look at it. And, oh yeah, it's brilliant, brilliant. And I just said, all I said was, would anybody like a go in it? And this guy went, fucking yes! Put his fucking hat on and jumped in the passenger side. Well, okay, so you want to go. So anyway, I walked round, I shut the door. I said, don't mess with the door, I'll do it. So it's you know, you need to know how to do it. Don't mess with the door, I'll do it. So I walked round to the passenger side, shut the door, walked back to the driver's side, got in, shut my door. I said, how fast do you want me to go? He said, fucking fast, mate. I said, well, it's up to you. I said, bear in mind, if I get pulled again, you've asked me to do this.
Yeah.
So with that, I turned the car round.
All right.
So there's still a car here. There's still a car there with the guy stood waiting. So I turned the car around and I shot off down this fucking road. Well, I fucking absolutely leathered the shit out of it. Absolutely leathered it. And we went, the driver who was on the outside of us, had left earlier, had pulled somebody up further back.
Oh, no.
So we went fucking hurtling past this police car. No. In for the penny, in for the pound.
Yeah.
Turned it round, started coming back. Passing the police car again, must be doing 120, 130. And this fellow was sat, this copper was sat at the side of me, he went, his radio went off. He says, what? He says, that lad in that Lamborghini again. He says, he's fucking doing it again. He says, I know, I'm fucking sat in it.
Oh, that's priceless, that, isn't it?
Oh, absolutely unbelievable. So I pulled back in, he got out, his mate got in, I did exactly the same. And they're all giving us a fucking thumbs up as a passenger this time. Because you could just about get your arm through the window.
Yeah, that's right.
Just about get like that goes, whang! Like 120, 130 miles. It's just the way he says it. He says, that fucking Lambo's at it again, boys. He says, I fucking know I'm sat in it.
Oh, that's crazy.
That was, you couldn't have scripted that.
No.
You really couldn't have scripted that. Anyway, we gets back, takes the other out, does exactly the same, screeds past it again, but waves. Gets back for the second time with the second copper.
Yeah.
And Darryl comes out, he says, I don't know what you've done, mate. He says, but they fucking let me off. He said, how could he fucking do me? And he's just watched two of his mates screaming like children.
Oh, that's brilliant.
So he got a bollocking, but he let him off.
Yeah. Did he get in it then as well?
No.
No.
Fucked off quick. Because But all he did was he let Daryl out of the car.
Yeah.
And Daryl walked, because I'd been driving, he just walked, got in the passenger seat, shut the door. He said, I said, oh. He said, they've let me off. I said, what do you mean they've let you off? He says, the guy said, how can I do you for anything when you're doing this for my mate?
Yeah.
For my mates. He said, it's very good of you, but very, very naughty. Anyway, he let us off.
Oh, wow, that's totally that.
So we gets to Blackpool. I think it was a Chinese. I'm sure it was a Chinese. We pulled up at this Chinese restaurant. It had a big window, really massive big window.
Yeah.
So, with no brakes, you could see the whole car. So we parked it outside. And as we walked in, this young lad came and he went, wow. And it was with another two people. It was with another lad and a girl. And he went, Jesus, mate. He says, is that yours? So I said, no. I said, it's not ours. I said, we just hired it. Fucking hell, like, oh, this is amazing. Anyway, Daryl and I went in and had a meal, not thinking any more of it.
Yeah.
We had the meal, paid the bill, come out, and this lad is sat on the floor, back against the window where we were looking out, but we couldn't see his head.
Oh, right.
Watching the car. So he says, I said, what are you still doing here? He says, I can't go, mate. Oh, that's right. I said to him, if I've got time when I get out, I might take you out in it. This was before I went in.
Oh, yeah.
He says, mate, he said, you said you might take me out in it. He says, I don't care whether you do or you don't. He said, I can't move. He said, I'm transfixed with it. I said, well, where's your two mates? Oh, they fucked off. They're not interested. Am I all right swearing?
Of course you are.
All right, that's all right. So they fucked off. Anyway, I took him out in it. I took him over.
Oh, you made his life by doing that.
Made his life, yeah. So I said to Daryl, go and get another coffee. I'll just take this young lad out. Because Daryl said, oh, don't. I said, no. I said, I did say when I came in, if he was still here when we came out, I would take him out with it. And that's what I did.
Blew his mind away. I wonder if he's got one now, a replica. Like.
Oh, I don't know. You just don't know, do you?
No, you don't know.
But that's the story of Blackpool.
Ah, what a story, yeah. That's like it's three stories altogether there, yeah. You know what I mean?